Good morning and welcome to GrainTV for May 30th, 2012. To my left is Logan Burgess and I'm Brock Shimbino. The market rallied in reaction to the crop progress report yesterday, only to sell off throughout the night session. What happened, Logan?
Yeah, Brock, well, we did see crop progress come out yesterday afternoon. They were delayed by the Memorial Day holiday here. And as you can see, last week we were at 77% good to excellent on this corn crop. We pulled back to 72% good to excellent here in this week's report, but we're still well ahead of pace of where we saw crop conditions at this time last year. Another thing, winter wheat was kind of the same story here, pulling back 4%, but we're still well ahead of where we were last year when that area of Oklahoma and Kansas was locked in a pretty severe drought. Spring wheat, though, kind of stood out from the pack here, actually improving by 5%. Over where we saw it last week on the good to excellent scale. And actually, we didn't have any data from last year because 50% of that crop wasn't emerged. So this crop is off to a great start here so far. But really, the trade's going to keep an eye on this corn crop right now, pulling back 5%. Two states really led the charge lower here. What are we looking at?
Illinois and Indiana really fell off from pretty good conditions to start the season. Illinois fell down 12% on the good to excellent rating. Indiana fell down 14% on the good to excellent rating. If you take a look at what we did throughout the growing season last year, we can see that we tailed off throughout the entire season on the good to excellent rating. So if we see a similar pattern this year, we should end up with a crop that's looking not as good as what it started this year. The conditions have been pretty droughty for them in Illinois and Indiana, so that's something we're going to have to monitor as we move forward.
Yeah, certainly. Well, it looks like there is some relief in sight here, hopefully on Friday. This map is provided by our friends over at Planalytics. As you can see here, Indiana and Illinois are both expected to get between half an inch and an inch of rain here on Friday. Another area to keep an eye on is that northern Iowa, southern Minnesota region that's been very dry right now. Those guys really need some rain. And one thing that could delay some actual harvest that's happening right now is rains in the area of Oklahoma and Kansas right now. Winter wheat crop's off to a great early start here in terms of harvest.
Yeah, we are quite a bit ahead of pace, normal pace for this time of year. We're 9% complete on the winter wheat harvest. If you take a look at our average pace and our pace from 2011, you can see that we're about 2 weeks ahead of those paces that we normally see this time of year.
Right, certainly. Well, we talked to a couple producers that plan on putting in beans after that winter wheat crop here. The futures market's really been screaming for beans on that soybean, on that November delivery soybean contract, even though we've seen quite a pullback here in the last couple of days. We'll have to keep an eye on that as we move forward. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll come back, fire up the Fire Tip platform, and take a look at the live quotes.
Oh, it's definitely earned me more money. Just like Decatur, they were paying 70 cents more for summer corn there in August. We were hauling corn 100 mile for 40 cents, and we're making 30 cents, and I wouldn't even known that price was probably on there. I wouldn't have thought of calling Decatur, but when you go to the Grower's Edge page, then it takes all that running around out of it for you.
Welcome back to GrainTV. The markets are open in Chicago, so let's turn over to the Fire Tip trading software for the live quotes. Old crop corn down 1/2 cent, new crop up 2 cents, old crop beans down 14, new crop beans down 6 3/4, Chicago wheat down 4 1/4, and Kansas City wheat off 3 1/4 cents this morning.
Yeah, Brock, I think, really people are watching outside markets here this morning pretty closely. Right now we have the dollar index getting to the highest levels that we've seen it since September 2010. As you can see here, it's up about 1/3 of a point. If we hop over to a daily chart here on this dollar index, you can see that as these worries that Greece is going to leave the Eurozone persist, people still flee to the dollar as a safe haven asset. And as a result here, we've seen the dollar index really climb at a quite fast rate. We pulled up the RSI on this thing. Right now it's sitting at 81. Technical traders look at anything over 70 as being in overbought territory, but this thing really got here on the fundamentals. I mean, there are major concerns out of Greece that a collapse of the euro will create a slowdown in the global economy. Right now we're seeing crude oil down 3, gold's down. People talk about risk-off attitude or whatever. This is kind of a classic example right now. A lot of red on the board here this morning on the Fire Tip platform. I think that kind of wraps up our show here for Wednesday morning on GrainTV. Thanks a lot for joining us. Have a great rest of your day.